The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Steve Whalen is still fighting for his second Ward Alderman spot. Hear the latest on the steps he's taking to get his position. Warmer temperatures are in sight, and that means dreaded road work. Stay tuned to hear where the improvements will begin taking place. And wasted tax dollars. News 3 has an exclusive on how much money Macomb residents are paying for the hoax that happened on Murray Street just a few weeks ago.
Welcome to News 3 Live at 4. News with Adam Yingst and with Jack Pluta. Sports with Nico Haeflinger. And weather forecasts from our team of meteorology students at Western Illinois University. News 3 starts right now.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Jack Pluta.
And I'm Rachel Steibing, in for Adam Yingst. It's been 1 week since candidate for Ward 2, Steve Whalen, approached Macomb City Council for clarification about why he wasn't declared the winner.
On Monday, he announced he's moving forward with a legal case against the city. Though Whalen was concerned about not being able to afford an attorney, he says he found a lawyer who works for a nonprofit organization. Diane Cohen of the Liberty Justice Center has sent a letter to the city's attorney asking for the city to, quote, enforce the election code by declaring Whalen's second ward alderman to cancel the supplemental election for the second ward aldermanic seat. The letter asked the city to respond by this Friday. As last night's city council meeting, Mayor Mike Inman gave little response to Whalen's remarks.
We do not want to do anything that would impede discussions that are occurring between Mr. Whalen's legal representatives, the city, and the county, and we will await the outcome of those discussions.
Tune in to Live at 4 for continuing coverage. And in more local news, another Macomb restaurant may soon have a liquor license. A second reading of the ordinance was done for Larry A's on East Jackson Street. It was open to the public for comments and no objections were heard for a second week in a row. A vote will take place at next Monday's City Council meeting.
As the weather warms up, we'll be seeing several road projects underway locally. An IDOT representative was present at Monday night's Committee of the Whole meeting to discuss installing new flashing yellow arrows and pedestrian crossing lights. The flashing yellow arrows are for two locations, primarily the intersection of Lafayette and University, where visibility is low. These were previously installed near Bradley University in Peoria, and numbers show a 30% reduction in traffic accidents. McDonough County will also see more construction. Illinois Governor Pat Quinn announced Monday one of the largest early season construction programs in the state's history. The list includes a $5 million project for milling and resurfacing US 67 near Good Hope to the Warren County line.
Numbers are still being counted on how much it cost for law enforcement to respond to the Murray Street hoax nearly 3 weeks ago. Claims have been filed with the state's attorney office by the Illinois State's Police, WIU's Office of Public Safety, and Macomb's Police Department. More than $11,000 in paid overtime and other expenses have been totaled by the three law enforcement agencies. The McDonough County Sheriff's Office has not submitted the total cost of their expenses. In news around campus, the general election for the SGA, as well as voting for the SGA Board of Trustees, begins tomorrow. Students will be able to log on to STARS and vote for the president, vice president, senator at large, and the Board of Trustees for Student Government Association. To vote, log on to stars.wiu.edu and drop down to student voting election information in order to vote. Voting runs tomorrow until this Friday.
The Public Library is inching closer to their designated goal for the extension of their building. Dennis Danowski told News 3 that the library is approaching $600,000 out of the $794,000 needed. The library's campaign for the future is raising these funds in order to receive a multi-million-dollar grant from the state. With the money received, the library hopes to make improvements to its building, such as adding more computers to its facility. Anyone wanting to donate to the library's campaign may do so by logging on to the library's website and clicking the Campaign for the Future link.
The new Macomb Transit Center will have a grand opening on April 1st at their new location next to the train station. This will be the first public look at the $13.8 million project that has installed more environmentally friendly technology in the building. The project also funded the purchase of 5 new buses. The open house will be held from 2 to 5 o'clock next Monday. Colder temperatures over the weekend still don't stop students from cutting their locks of hair on St. Baldrick. For St. Baldrick, many students came out to Tanner Hall Saturday to get their hair cut by Michael's hair designer. The team raised $14,500 for childhood cancer research. Their original goal was only $500. You can still make donations by visiting Michael's Hair Design team page on stbaldrick.org. Michael's Hair Design is located in the square and is Macomb's oldest salon and spa. After a snowy Saturday left Macomb looking anything but spring, it seems like the snow is starting to melt around town. Weatherman Bobby Stochl has more on the potential warm-up.
Thank you, Jack. Looks like winter's not over yet. We still have spring to look forward to. We still have those colder temperatures. Looks like we're around 39 today, and we maybe reached into the lower 40s. But we did have those strong winds for today, so it was a little bit cooler, felt maybe a little bit into the lower 30s. As we move into this evening, it'll get a little bit chillier, down into the mid to lower 20s, and the winds will die down as well, so maybe it won't feel as bad. We'll get some heavy frost over this evening. Here's our current surface analysis. We had some clear skies for today, but it felt a little bit chilly just because of those winds, as the cold air is pushing through into the east. And we will be seeing some warmer temperatures by the end of this week, so stay tuned for the rest of the full weather forecast after this.
Thanks for that, Bobby. Before the snow hit Macomb over the weekend, Hy-Vee held their annual Easter egg hunt on Saturday morning. Peter Cottontail was hopping along, spreading the Easter spirit with the Macomb community as kids hunted for Easter eggs and treats outside of Hy-Vee. After the hunt, children were invited inside for snacks, drinks, and even pictures with the Easter Bunny.
The Rialto Cinemas is hosting a spring film series featuring 5 different films. This series will begin this week and continue through May 1st. All movies will be shown Monday through Wednesday, and times vary each day. The festival kicked off yesterday with the award-winning film Life of Pi. Drivers may seem a little happier this week as gas prices continue to fall. The average cost of gas in Illinois has dropped 5 cents over the past week. The current national average is $3.63. Prices in Macomb are down to $3.56 per gallon. According to GasBuddy.com, the lowest prices in town are located at the Cenex on Jackson and Phillips 66 by Walmart.
The students of WIU's Department of Theater and Dance are putting together their rendition of I Hate Hamlet tonight. Andrew Raleigh appears to have it all: fame, wealth, and a perfect New York apartment. That is until he realizes his apartment is haunted. To see the suspense thriller play out, make your way over to WIU's Horban Hall. The show starts at 7:30 tonight and will be performed every night through this Saturday. The Difficult Conversation series continues. Tomorrow will be the last topic of the 2012-2013 Difficult Conversation series. The gender box pressures to be male and female. We'll discuss how female and male roles are defined in society and the influence of traditional gender roles and values based on today's worldviews. Placed in small groups to give their insights on the conversation. The event is open to all faculty, staff, and students and will be held from 3:30 till 5 p.m. in the University Union Lemoyne Room.
While piano and percussion combined last night in the COFAC Recital Hall, the Petrella Ensemble brought their talents center stage. The duo, made up of Diane and Nick Petrella, have authored several books and articles together about their performances. They have traveled all across the country and into Mexico, Poland, even Austria, just to share their talents with eager audiences. People in attendance says it was a show they would not soon forget. And if you follow us on Twitter or Facebook, add one more news source to your list. You can now check us out on our new website. View all of our news stories at news3wiu.com. We also have a community calendar page, Pet of the Week information, podcast, and a page to highlight our staff. If you have a story idea, breaking news, comments, or questions, be sure to tell us by clicking the About Us tab. You can also access our Twitter and Facebook page through the site. Again, our new website is news3wiu.com.
Coming up on Thursday, tune in for our Pet of the Week segment, where we feature a dog or cat up for adoption at the McDonough County Animal Shelter. News 3's anchor Jessica Ducey visits each week to bring our community a closer look at local animals that need a home. Stay tuned for Thursday's newscast to meet Ellie the Retriever.
The same-sex marriage debate is front and center in Washington.
And North Korea is once again threatening to strike U.S. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
If you could see anything in the world, what would it be?
I'd love to see Paris.
I like to see cupcakes falling from the sky.
My daughter, married and happy.
I want to see things the way I used to.
Chances are, someone you love may one day be affected by macular degeneration or glaucoma. Log on to seeabettertomorrow.org or call 1-800-437-2423 to learn about glaucoma and macular degeneration. Call 1-800-437-2423 or log on to seeabettertomorrow.org.
I just want to see more of the things I love.
Same-sex marriage is taking center stage this week in Washington. The U.S. Supreme Court justices will hear arguments in 2 same-sex marriage cases that could have a major impact on the same-sex marriage debate. Tori Dunnan has more on what's at stake for both sides.
Snow isn't stopping people from lining up outside the U.S. Supreme Court for a chance to witness history. They're vying for limited seats inside the courtroom, where oral arguments will be heard this week in 2 cases regarding same-sex marriage. Wednesday, the justices will hear arguments on the Defense of Marriage Act, also known as DOMA. But first, California's controversial Proposition 8 is on the docket for Tuesday.
Yes on 8! Yes on 8!
Prop 8, passed in 2008, amended the state constitution to ban same-sex marriage. Opponents say it's discriminatory and unconstitutional.
When you put the face of discrimination on families and friends, that people understand there's absolutely no reason whatsoever to discriminate against gays and lesbians from exercising their fundamental right to marry.
DOMA, passed in 1996, defines marriage at the federal level as a union between a man and woman. This week, the highest court will be asked whether the government can deny same-sex couples the same rights as heterosexual couples, even in the 9 states and District of Columbia, where same-sex marriage is legal.
Why do we have to be married locally but federally? It's nothing. We're friends.
People who support Prop 8 and DOMA say they are not issues that should be settled in the courts.
Americans have an inevitable and inalienable right to determine our own history, and that's really a fundamental aspect of America.
The court is expected to issue a ruling in June. In Washington, I'm Tori Dunnan reporting.
According to the Unity at Western Illinois Facebook page, there is a rally being held outside of Representative Noreen Hammond's office until 5 p.m.
Ted Olson is one of the attorneys who brought forth the case challenging California's Proposition 8. After arguments, he had no feeling on what kind of ruling the justices would bring down.
That didn't make sense. I think one of the most important things that happened today was the fact that the American people were listening to the argument. And as David was saying, the other side, no one really offered a defense for the awful discrimination that takes place when gay and lesbian citizens are not denied the right given to everyone else to have their family relationship recognized and respected equally.
Even though Supreme Court has started hearings on the case, the court is unlikely to announce its decision until July.
Amanda Knox is heading back to court today after a ruling by the Italian Supreme Court. The court ruled that she has been retried for the 2007 murder of her roommate Meredith Kircher. Knox spent 4 years in prison before an appellate court overturned her murder conviction. The retrial will take place at the appeals court in Florence, Italy. Knox's lawyer says the new trial would probably start next year. She came back to the U.S. in 2011. Her lawyer says she will not come back for the new trial.
Military threats against the U.S. are coming out of North Korea today. The North Korean military said it plans to place military units and strategic rockets into top combat position for a strike against the U.S. This is just one of the many threats in recent weeks. The country has grown angry by tougher UN sanctions and joint military exercises by the U.S. and South Korea. The U.S. Defense Department has retaliated by saying it can defend itself against whatever the regime can come up with. It's a bit on the cold side today, but those spring temperatures are on their way down.
Your future forecast right after the break.
I thought indoor tanning was safe. They said their tanning rays were less likely to cause a sunburn.
What you need to know is UV light from indoor tanning can cause
premature aging, including wrinkles, sagging, and age spots.
So instead of making you look cool, it can make you look old.
And even worse, UV light can increase your risk of skin cancer, including melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer, especially when exposed at an early age.
And treatment can be surgery, and sometimes even chemotherapy and radiation.
In fact, current estimates are that 1 in 5 Americans develop skin cancer, and 1 person dies from melanoma about every hour.
I don't want to be one of them.
I don't want to be one of them.
I don't want to be one of them.
This message brought to you by the American Academy of Dermatology.
I'm telling you, indoor tanning is not as safe as you think. In fact, indoor tanning is totally out.
Travel advisories to small business loans, retirement savings to Medicare coverage, ID theft protection to contacting elected officials, student loans to taxes online. Whether you have information to get or ideas to give, USA.gov is the official place to connect with your government. From surplus car auctions to finding a new job, our new mobile apps will keep you updated on the go. So, from marriage records to passport applications, veterans benefits to birth certificates, patent applications to energy-saving ideas, product recalls to home buying tips. Check out USA.gov because the country runs better when we stay connected.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us. I'm Bobby Stochl, filling in for Scott Beckerman, and had to bring back some warmer temperatures with me as well, both in the newsroom and outside. Looks like we got 39 degrees today, a little bit warmer. I'd say about 3 degrees warmer than yesterday, but we have it feels a little bit colder though because we have a little bit stronger winds, still feeling some of that cold plume that was sticking around for a while, and it's going to die down as we get those temperatures lower into this evening. With those sub-fair temperatures, but the winds will die down so it won't feel as cold as it has been in the past. Here's our national satellite radar. This is that cold plume I was talking about. It's just been sitting on us. That's where we've been getting our snow and all of our overcast days, all those gloomy days. That's getting pushed right out as we see this high pressure system moving on up and sweeping that right on out for you. Let's move a little closer. This was this morning, moving into now. See those cloudy skies drift off into the east and push out of our way so we can get some sunny skies in here. Here's Wednesday's surface analysis. Looks like we're going to have some sunny skies. Like I said, we have that high atmospheric pressure system coming through. That ridge is pushing that cold weather right on out of here, and we're going to have possibly some 50s by the end of this week. And as we move into Thursday, we might see a little bit more overcast skies, partly cloudy, but we are going to see some sun, some warmer temperatures, and some of that snow melt away. Pretty even temperatures for today all across the board in the Midwest area. A little bit cold up in the upper Midwest and pretty even, like I said, across from the east all the way to the west, unless you're in those southern areas. Here's our almanac for today. A little bit colder than the average. Like last year, we had a lot warmer days in the spring, and but we do have our longer days coming up. And here's our 7-day forecast. Like I said, we had about 39 degrees today, and it will warm up by the end of the week. We'll be seeing some clouds and possibly some rain by Friday and Saturday. Things are going to be looking a lot better, and hopefully we'll have some time to maybe play some golf by the end of this week. I know I've been talking to a lot of guys about that.
Golf, I forgot all about golf.
I know, right?
Well,
you gotta
hopefully
take it
we'll
easy.
only have some April showers, right? No more snow, though.
No, we actually might be seeing a lot more storms, but not as much snow.
Let's get rid of the cold. Nico, talk us about those Lady Leatherneck softball.
Yeah, despite the cold temperatures, their bats heated up this weekend as they had another Summit League series. I also have Bulls and Blackhawks highlights from this past weekend coming up after the break.
Are these real?
The best quality.
You mean they're fake?
Only a few dollars.
Only a few dollars.
Only a few dollars. Only a few dollars.
Only a few dollars.
It's not only a few dollars. Counterfeit goods take away jobs, and many are tied to violence and crimes, including child labor, drugs, and gangs. You have the power to stop it. Know the real cost. Don't buy counterfeits.
Your heart rate's a little fast.
Cause of death, acute myocardial infarction.
Have you tried a weight loss program?
Likely caused by type 2 diabetes and heart disease.
Still smoking?
Victim's lungs are black and scarred.
You can get a physical exam now, or you can get one later. Talk to your doctor about a physical. Learn how to lower your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease and live a healthier life.
People have good hearts. During times of disaster, they donate food, clothing, and other necessities. However, this leads to the cost of packing, transportation, and storage, which is why money is more effective. Give with your heart. Cash is best. For more information, visit www.cidi.org.
After getting swept in their opening Summit League series last weekend, the WIU softball team returned to conference play for a series with the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. After picking up a 5-1 victory in Game 1, they fell down 3-0 early in Game 2, but bounced back strong in the fourth. Heading to the highlights, Meg Kelly coming to the plate with a runner on. First pitch of the at-bat, buzzang! She crushes this ball down the left field line, her third home run in the last 6 games. She's hitting .571 over that stretch with 7 RBIs. 2-run blast puts Western down 3-2. 2 at-bats later, 2 Leathernecks on. Senior Alex Flieger ropes this pitch over the left fielder's head. 1 run scores, and here comes the relay throw to the plate. Beats Emma Gerald, but the great slide to get under the tag. She is safe. Western takes the 4-3 lead. Kelsey Michelini started both games, the senior in the circle, picked up a pair of wins, striking out 12 Golden Grizzlies in just over 12 innings of work while allowing just 3 earned runs. Western takes 2 conference wins and sweeps the Golden Grizzlies, pick up their first 2 conference wins of the season. Western heads to Valparaiso on Thursday, and then they are off to Fort Wayne for a 3-game conference series with the Mastodons. I'll have the call on all of those games, and you can listen live on 88.3 The Dog or 883thedog.com. And then heading to the NBA, after a 1-2 homestand, the Chicago Bulls headed back on the road to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Rolling into the highlights, Carlos Boozer, he had a really big night for the Bulls. Jumping into the third quarter, Heinrich is going to find Boozer, and that's his shot. Splish splash. Boozer had a double-double in the game. We're going to jump to the fourth now. Timberwolves within 8, but Jimmy Butler getting the start, draining the three. He had 20 points. Few minutes later now, Derek Williams and the Timberwolves trying to keep the comeback going. He's going to hit a three of his own. He had a game-high 28. Bulls now getting the offensive rebound. Butler, he's going to find Nate Robinson at the top of the key. He's money. He led the Bulls with 22 points as the Bulls go on to win 104-97. Tomorrow night, the Bulls return to the UC in a nationally televised game against the Miami Heat. The Heat have won 27 straight basketball games, and the Bulls will look to snap that streak. The NBA record is 33 straight wins done by the 1971-72 Los Angeles Lakers. Tip-off will be at 7 o'clock on ESPN. Heading to the NHL now, coming off a loss to the Anaheim Ducks, the Blackhawks return to the United Center after 4 days off. They took on the defending Stanley Cup champion Los Angeles Kings. Highlights now. Second period, we're all tied up at 2. Patrick Kane is going to jump on this loose puck, and he's going to get quick to bite on the deke as he scores his 17th goal of the season. Just seconds remaining in the second now as a scramble in front of the net, and Dwight King is able to poke the puck into the net to tie it up at 3. Final period. Michael Frolik is going to get this puck and send it in front of the net. He already had 2 goals, and Taze is there to clean it up. The captain scoring his 16th goal of the season. Minutes later, Tyler Toffoli is going to get over the blue line, snap the wrister that's going to find its way under the pad of Corey Crawford. All tied up at 4, 90 seconds to go. Kings with the face-off win. Dustin Brown gets his own rebound and scores the game winner as the Hawks go on to lose 5-4. The Blackhawks have lost back-to-back games for the second time this month, but return to the ice tonight against the Calgary Flames. The Hawks are 1-0 against the Flames this season as they picked up a shootout victory earlier on in the year. Puck drop is set for 7:30 at the United Center. You know, the Hawks getting that loss, but could be interesting as some trade talk starting to heat up. Jerome McGinley, who is on the Flames, in some possible rumors might be headed to the Hawks. There were 4 teams he was interested in, and the Hawks are one of those 4 teams.
That'd be a great addition to the Madhouse. That'd really get those fans fired up.
Yeah, it certainly was. Great player, add a little bit of physicality to the team, and it's always good to get a big acquisition, big name like Jerome McGinley this late in the season.
All right, thank you, Nico.
Thanks, Nico. And we'll be right back after the break.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
If you could see anything in the world, what would it be?
I'd love to see Paris.
I like to see cupcakes falling from the sky.
My daughter, married and happy.
I want to see things the way I used to.
Chances are, someone you love may one day be affected by macular degeneration or glaucoma. Log on to seeabettertomorrow.org or call 1-800-437-2423 to learn about glaucoma and macular degeneration. Call 1-800-437-2423 or log on to seeabettertomorrow.org.
I just want to see more of the things I love.
That is all the time we have this afternoon. For Nico Haeflinger, I'm Jack Pluta.
And for Bobby Stochl, I'm Rachel Steibing. Have a great evening.